Aha, gut. Let's go. Oh, Mugel! Hinter mir ist Fledermugel. Östliches Europa. Ende des 19. Jahrhunderts. Transsilvanien?
Thank you all for coming here today to say goodbye to my Lisa.
Die Litza. Was ist mit Liza Grimm passiert?
I never thought I would bury my own daughter, my own blood, my pride, yet
Oh, ich glaube, das bin ich. Sind wir die? Morozova?
I can't do this. Go, please say something. I just can't.
Hallo, Side Mike.
There. It's all right. What can I say about someone dying so young? Particularly someone as special as Lisa.
Irgendwas Nettes musst du sagen.
If I may, I won't dwell on the circumstances of her tragic death today. Instead, I'd like us to celebrate her life. Despite her obvious calling for medicine, when she was little, I always thought she would become...
Chat, werden wir Musiker, Schriftsteller, Doktor oder Politiker? Wisst ihr, ich glaube, wir machen Doktor. Wir sind Doktor. Also ganz ehrlich, hier Kreativität, schön und gut. Politiker, die lügen immer. Aber Doktor, der verdient gut. Ich glaube, wir sind Doktor.
Actually, I always knew she would be a doctor. It was her
Science
destiny.
and Logic.
I remember that one day her brother was running amok inside the house until he fell over and badly scraped his knee. Before I even blinked, an 8-year-old Lisa ran to the kitchen, got a bottle of vodka and a clean towel, dressed the wound, and tied it up. Such a bright girl. Always a top student. Always the pride of her parents.
Ja, also war auch immer Klassenbeste. Mhm.
By the time she graduated,
Das Scientific Mind, auf jeden Fall.
Lisa knew everything there was to learn from books about science in our enlightened age.
Wisst ihr, wie schlau es ist, Arzt zu sein als Vampir? Du kannst immer kostenlos dich an der Blutbank bedienen.
Laws of physics, human anatomy, chemical solutions, you name it. Every time she went on about this scientist or that discovery, she'd light up like a matchstick.
Matchstick?
Most of the time I couldn't understand a word of it. But I just nodded along and mused at how bright our girl was.
Wir sollten vielleicht auch noch ein bisschen in die Politik gehen. Ich glaube, das ist immer ganz gut. Also, weil ich glaube, das ist Diplomatie oder so.
I can't tell you how proud we all were when she was accepted at the medical academy. I had no doubt that she was destined for greatness. But to become a doctor, one of the first women to achieve that in the whole country. If someone deserved that honor, it was our Lisa. But my niece was so much more than a gifted student.
Ja, wir waren auch. Gut, wir sind ein passionate Artist. Also eigentlich würde ich bei der Demo immer das machen, was ich also nicht machen würde. Aber gut, dann sind wir halt mal ein passionate Artist, ne?
Even with all her talent for science, what everybody truly knew her by was her artistic nature and angelic voice.
Ja, also unter der Dusche. Ich sag euch, ich klinge richtig gut.
Do you remember her summer night performances at the cabin? Her singing, no matter the song, time or place, it felt like it spoke to you alone.
Also ganz ehrlich, ich kann übrigens alles. Also ich bin Arzt, Sänger, ich kann alles. Singender Arzt. Na, es gab auch bei Scrubs eine Musical-Folge, ne? Also.
Haunting, otherworldly, beautiful. She was my favorite niece.
Wie viel hast du denn?
Let us raise a glass to her. Pour some vodka for Kolya, too. He is old enough to send his sister off. A piece of my soul went into the ground with her today, as I'm sure did many of yours. Let those pieces help Lisa, wherever she is now. To Lisa.
Auf Lisa! Fledermogel. Seht ihr, wie süß? Das sieht immer aus, als ob es abkackt, bevor es dann geladen hat. Hey!
When I was a little girl, I often had trouble falling asleep.
Schade. Weil ich glaube, nur die Vollversion hat dann Englisch und Deutsch.
My mother used to sing me this lullaby to comfort me. Tonight, I slept deeper than I had in my entire life. I had a disturbing dream that a string was coming out of my mouth. When I started pulling it, I realized that it came from all the way down my throat, buried somewhere deep in my body. I kept pulling, but I couldn't go too quickly for fear of burning myself with friction. Finally, the whole string was out. I felt relieved, but also strangely empty. I realized that I was in my bed, with my mother sitting beside me, crying.
Also wir mögen hier Fledermäuse überhaupt nicht und so.
I didn't know why she was in tears, but I knew it was my fault.
Gott. Erschreck mich nicht so. Oh, wir sehen scheiße aus. Also verbraucht, also kaputt. Lieber Herr.
Mom? Kolya?
Mein Körper fühlt sich so an, als ob es mit Watte ausgestopft wäre. Als hätte ich tagelang geschlafen. Wie zweimal gekalbt, Gott. Entweder ist das ein Albtraum oder ich bin in der Hölle. Das fühlt sich zu real an. Kerosinlampe.
The cupboard is locked. Why would anyone keep something of value in a place like this?
Ich höre Stimmen in meinem Kopf.
My medical journal from the academy and my family medallion. Who could have brought this here?
Lisas Medaillon. Handgearbeitetes Sterlingsilber. Von ihrem Vater an Lisa vermacht. Welcome to the high life. Escape the chamber. Oh! 2 Seiten Beziehung. Entschuldigung, wir müssen erstmal kennenlernen.
Lilies of the valley.
Oh, Lilien.
My favorite flower. Who put them in this room? It's disturbing to see them here.
Sperlensilber. Keine Fledermäuse. Das war Sarkasmus. Also, ich weiß nicht, wie genau ich das noch machen soll, außer dass ich Fledermausflügel an meinen Kopfhörern habe.
Locked.
Ich rufe mal nach Hilfe.
Hello? Anyone? Please help. I'm stuck here. Anyone? It's no use.
Gut, dann gehen wir halt. Ich hab's versucht.
Hello? Who is this? I'm locked inside. Please help.
Fledermaus freundlich hin, die Flügel abzuschneiden und ans Headset zu kleben. Tut mir leid. Aber das war Lurker. Also das Kleben nicht, aber das Abschneiden. Lurker war schuld.
Are you still there? Maybe you can't talk? Please knock twice for yes and once for no.
Das macht niemand einmal für Ja, zweimal für Nein.
Thank goodness.
Freiwillige Spende, das ist gut.
Can you help me open the door?
Kannst du dann bitte auch einfach aufmachen?
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Ich habe keine Lust mehr in der Ecke zu sitzen. Ich will jetzt wieder normal sitzen. Ratet einfach, was da steht.
Will you help me?
Ich bin wichtiger als der Text. Die redet ja sowieso. Da steht Knock.
What is it that you want from me?
Ein
I
Gefallen.
don't have much, but I can owe you a favor? Then it's settled. Whoever you are, do you hear me? If you open this door, I, Elizaveta Morozova, will be in your debt.
Gott sei Dank ist es nur eine Demo. Ich würde das, glaube ich, bereuen.
What the hell is this? My shoulder just felt like it was burning up.
Das Versprechen.
I can't see anything from this angle. I should check up on it later.
Wem auch immer ich was versprochen habe.
It's open. No one. What have I gotten myself into?
Wir haben vor allem Hunger, wenn man sich mal unser leeres Glas anguckt. Character Sheet. Ja. New Skill Points. Yay! Earning experience points, increase your rank, allowing to upgrade your skills. Press plus in a skill you'd like to modify. Once you finish this, accept changes. Okay. Was? History and Politics. Ich soll vielleicht... Ich mach mal so, dass wir wenigstens ein bisschen was haben, ja? Aua, hab ich... Was ist das? Gut und böse, glaube ich, ne? Weil ich glaube, man konnte gut und böse spielen.
Hello? Can anybody hear me?
Nur Rädchen.
What a peculiar painting.
Na also!
The husband and wife in the picture don't look very happy. If I had to guess, I'd say it wasn't the perfect marriage.
Das hat jetzt aber nichts mit Art zu tun, sondern Psychoanalyse. Können wir uns umziehen?
It smells like death here. There's someone's money in here. I could live on this for a week. Tempting, but I can't take what isn't mine.
Eigentlich sollte ich richtig böse spielen. Lisa's morality is still shaping. Certain choices will provide you with humanity or nihilism points. Some choices will only become available to Lisa after she reaches certain levels. Kann ich es nochmal nehmen? Okay, wir sind jetzt böse, okay? Ich meine, es ist eine Demo. Wir dürfen böse sein.
The mirror is covered by a sheet. People only do that when someone dies. Mother explained that this is so the dead soul does not get lost and trapped inside. Silly superstition, of course. We live in the age of science where there's no room for this nonsense. What is this? Where is my reflection? I can't see myself.
Oh, sind wir wohl ein Vampir? Hallo German Timmy.
It must be a trick mirror.
Ja, ja, ich glaube auch.
Eerie.
Layers of 4. Es ruft nach
It's
uns.
hard to say without seeing the face, but this dress. Could it be the same girl from the first painting? It's hard to say.
Also,
Could it?
Entschuldigung.
This is unbearable.
Wir brauchen
I'm
Blut.
a doctor. I can get through this. I just need to look straight ahead. Give me strength, no matter what is on the other side. What in heavens is all this?
Das klingt jetzt erstmal nicht so schlimm. Kapitel 1, Higher Society.
I will make sense of all this later.
Mesdames, wo sind eure Kleider? Ich will auch eins.
Something is wrong. My head is spinning. I feel the floor slipping from under my feet.
Wir haben Experience Points. Aber, achso.
Would you look at her? How does one have the gall to show at the Countess's manor in such a filthy outfit?
She must be a nihilist. It's spreading all over the country like a plague.
You two don't know what you're talking about. It's the latest rage in Paris now. The dirtier, the better.
Die rote, die nehmen wir. Das wird unsere beste Freundin.
I'm starving, and the food looks so fresh and delicious, but the strangest thing is, I have absolutely no appetite for it.
Aber diese Menschen hier sehen sehr appetitlich aus, ne?
I'm starving, and the food looks so fresh and delicious, but the strangest thing is, I have absolutely no appetite for it.
Die Süße, die im Lilanen. Okay, wo gehen wir jetzt hin? Wen essen wir? Wir haben Hunger. Entschuldigung.
Have you heard? The Countess is sending me on a special assignment to the capital.
Oh, das
You
Kleid.
lucky devil. I've been stuck here for years. I swear, I dull my fangs just to spend the night in the city.
Mist, das sind auch Vampire. Giorgio Drecko nicht mal, wenn wir ihn tragen. Hm.
Miss, are you all right?
Mind your own business, Petya. It's rude to stare at a lady.
Sorry.
Können wir in seinen Armen einfach ohnmächtig umfallen? Dann kümmert sich schon mal jemand um uns. Oh. Oh, die sieht aus wie die bei Heidi, die Böse. Also nicht die böse, also die sich um Clara gekümmert hat und Heidi immer gemobbt hat. Die Anstandsdame da.
I know it's not ideal, Countess Orlova, but I'm afraid there is not much we can do at this point.
Of course now there bloody isn't. The right time to act was last week.
I don't understand where this influx of product is coming from. It's undercutting our prices.
Where were you when I...
Who is this creature?
Hey!
Darling, you look like a little domovoy. Come
Domo-
over here.
domovoy?
I don't bite.
Hello? Hello? I'm terribly sorry for it.
You must be the doctor's new apprentice.
Bei wem bin ich jetzt unten durch und bei wem bin ich jetzt drin?
Look at you, poor thing. You must be fresh out of the ground.
Excuse me?
Ugh, nobody must have actually inducted you. How typical. No surprise with the men around here. Hussar, why is she in such a state?
She was not supposed to wake.
I'd love to catch you up, dear, but sadly I have some urgent business to attend to, thanks to this gentleman over here. Hussar, be a darling and show this young lady around when she's decent.
As you wish, madam. If you'll excuse me, I'll go for a smoke on the balcony. You can find me there.
You're excused. If I recall my first day correctly, your head must be killing you.
Sind wir jetzt Minus oder Plus bei ihm? Wir sind 50.
Here, drink this.
Thank you. May I ask what this is?
If you know too much, you'll grow old sooner. Trust me, it will lift your spirits.
Whatever this is, it's beyond delicious.
Wir haben Durst, wir trinken.
It's sweet and thick and tastes like cherry and wild strawberries. Thank you. I do feel a lot better all of a sudden.
Now go change. We can't have you gallivanting around in those scrubs. There is a nice dress about your size in the cloakroom. Consider this my welcome gift.
Thank you kindly, madam. Madam Orlova.
You're welcome, child.
Ach so, der Name.
Now off you go, change and mingle. Time is money.
Ach, jetzt darf ich. When you're healthy, okay. Wo kann ich mich denn umziehen? Naja, da war nur eine Tür. Ich versuch's mal damit.
Goodness. This must be the dress the
Aber
Countess
können wir
was
auch
talking
duschen
about.
gehen oder so?
Such an ornate Western style. It must cost a small fortune. I want nothing more than to change out of this horrible nightgown, but this is just too much. I can't ruin such beauty with dirt. I better wash up first. Another cloth on a mirror. Something bad must have happened.
Wir sehen eh nichts im Spiegel, also von dem her. Duschen ist der Monat schon fast.
That should do it, hopefully.
Hä, wie wir auch das Kleid sauber gekriegt haben. Wir sind krass.
Goodness. Such... It's perfect. Fits like a glove. The Countess sure has excellent taste in literature. In other circumstances, I'd spend all day here reading.
Schick, schick, würde ich sagen, oder? Also. Was hat denn eine
I still don't know what's happening here. Or at least I hope I don't. But delaying the inevitable is just tying my stomach in knots. I need to find that young man and learn the truth.
Warum hat er plötzlich eine Puppe?
I'm starving,
also.
And the food looks
Aber
so
wir haben doch keinen
fresh
Hunger mehr.
and
Wir haben doch,
delicious,
unser Glas ist voll.
The strangest thing is, I have absolutely no appetite for it.
Hinter mir sind Zeichen jetzt. Ich weiß noch nicht warum. Ist das der Balkon?
Please tell me you have some...
Gleich kommt Poki und singt Hussa, ne? Cost action points.
Good evening, Hussar.
Ah, there's our belle of the ball. Lisa, right?
Belle of the ball?
You actually don't look half bad when you're not covered in graveyard dirt.
Wow, danke schön für das echt krasse Kompliment, Bitch. Bitch.
I wish I could return the compliment, but you look quite pale and dreary. Must be from all that tobacco.
Huh. I like a lady with a sharp tongue.
Er steht drauf. Er ist einer von den Typen, die man ohrfeigt und dann sagen sie, mach das noch einmal. Mich hat noch nie eine Frau so geschlagen, wie du es getan hast.
However, I'm afraid my paleness doesn't come from smoking. Surely an educated lady like you must have put together who we are by now, haven't you?
Habe ich Punkte? Ich habe nicht... Ach doch, da. Shit. Hab ich doch den Writing genommen.
I'd rather not guess. Please, just tell me straight. Who?
Simply, we are vampires.
Ach, echt?
Is this why I had no reflection in the mirror?
If that's what you're concerned about, you look just fine.
Ich weiß. Defense? Ach.
Must be some sort of a defense mechanism that suppresses a traumatic experience. What about my family? When can I see them?
Wahrscheinlich gar nicht. Dankeschön, Lix, für die 15 Monate Resub. Dankeschön. Vielen, vielen Dank. Und hallo, Lix.
I was worried you will ask me that. Technically, they think you are dead, and it is best for everyone if they keep thinking that. It's true, too.
True, too.
I can't just leave them like this. They have to know I'm all right.
Look, I know this is too much for you to take in right now. Maybe that's a conversation we should revisit another time.
I have so many questions.
See, that's what I was afraid of.
Gott, ich schub's ihn gleich runter.
Theory is not my forte. I'm a proponent of learning by doing. Why don't you go talk the ears off some other guests while I finish smoking in peace? After that, I can show you what it's really like to be one of us.
I suppose I can do that. Could you at least tell me a little bit about the people, the guests in there?
Oh, come on. Where is your spirit of adventure? I'm sure you'll figure it out on your own.
Oh, ich kann ja nicht leiden.
All right then. I'll go see if someone can actually help me.
Meh.
All right.
Nee.
Thank you kindly. I'll be back soon enough.
Jetzt schub's ihn einfach den Balkon runter.
No rush, please.
Gott, ich hasse den. Wo ist meine Hübsche?
Come on. Don't any of you cowards want to have any fun?
My lady, with all due respect, Russian roulette just seems like, too much fun for the night.
Fine. Get lost then. Be on your merry way. Who knew that the second time I die would be of boredom?
Oh Gott, das ist jedes Vampirspiel so? Dumme Wei, also spell dumme Weg, dumme Wück is the household spirit of a given kin. They are deified progenitors, that is to say, the fountainhead ancestors of the kin. Ja, genau, danke, du mich auch. Die ist nett. Aber wo ist meine Hübsche? Zu der will ich.
I do actually have a model right here with me. I always carry Matilda with me, just in case a good opportunity strikes. You never know. Look into her eyes. Doesn't she look alive to you? Like she's going to blink?
Yes. Well, apologies.
Petya.
Petya. We should probably go discuss some urgent business with the Countess.
Oh, of course. In fact, I'd love to meet her as...
Ich habe das Gefühl, hier sind sehr viele, sehr seltsame Menschen.
I don't know how, but I can just sense that he is not one of us. Such a strange feeling. Attraction? No, but something very similar.
Schlaf gut, Klepi, träum was Schönes und viel Spaß im Urlaub.
He is most certainly human.
Nee, auf Menschen habe ich keinen Bock.
Have you tried the Countess's Cabernet? Honestly, I think this may have been the best one I ever tasted.
I prefer to stick to clear drinks around here. If you really want to try some decent Cabernet, stop by my salon on the main street.
Oh, that sounds like a challenge. I'll take you up on that offer.
So, dann gut, dann gehen wir zu ihr. Ich meine, Salon ist immer praktisch, nicht wahr?
Hello. I don't think I've seen you around here before. I'm Arbin.
I'm Lisa. Good evening to you too.
You don't sound so sure. Is it really a good one for you?
You're right. If I'm honest, it hasn't been the easiest night.
That's what I thought. My advice is always be honest, unless you absolutely can't be. In the end, it does make everyone feel better.
That's a good piece of advice.
Stick with me, lovely. I'm chock full of them.
Arbin, I've only just been turned, and all of this is very new to me. May I trouble you for some advice?
I hope you don't mind me asking, but has someone in your family enjoyed wine a little too much?
Yes. My father. Wine, vodka, anything he can drink, really. You aren't clairvoyant, are you?
Everyone becomes a little clairvoyant if they live long enough and pay attention. I saw you drinking that glass earlier, and I think you should be careful around it, my dear.
Ich hatte Durst.
Alcohol's my father's problem. It isn't mine.
It's not just alcohol you should be concerned about. You can keep away from it if you want. Blood, however, you will now have to drink, whether you like it or not.
Whether I like it or not.
Demons are hereditary, my dear. Always remember that.
I couldn't help but overhear that you are a wine expert?
I dabble. I run a literary salon in town and serve drinks there.
How exciting.
Ach so, kein Schönheitssalon. Naja, gut.
You'd be surprised, my dear, and mildly disappointed. I'd love for you to stop by one day. I'll treat you to a round of something nice.
I'll make sure to visit. Since you're an expert, may I ask you about the wine that the Countess gave me? I'll admit I found it delicious, but it wasn't really wine, was it?
It was not. Cabernet was sort of our code word for blood, so we don't shock any innocents. And then we just got used to it. Funny how language works, isn't it?
Yes. Funny.
Okay, also falls ihr Blut trinken wollt, einfach Cabernet bestellen.
Well, I should get going.
Good luck. I have a feeling we'll see each other soon.
Auf jeden Fall. So, dann gehen wir zu der mit dem schönen Kleid. Hallo?
Now, would you look at this pretty picture?
Oh, danke schön.
I could barely recognize you from... Where did you get this dress?
It's a gift from the Countess. She is very generous.
Huh. I thought it looked familiar.
It's ihrs, ne?
Name is Alisa, by the way.
Lisa, it's a pleasure. So, I've just been turned today.
Congratulations. That must be quite shocking. Thrilling, even. I'm envious, really.
Yes, thank you. I'm not quite sure how to process all this yet. What does one even do with this? Being dead, drinking blood, who knows what else?
Same thing anyone around here does. Masticating plain eternity day after day. Spicing it up any way you can.
Hence the Russian roulette.
We're already dead, aren't we? What else is there to lose? Do you fancy a round?
Maybe some other time.
Suit yourself.
May I ask who was the young man you talked with earlier?
Who, Petya? Why, are you interested?
Goodness, no. I was just making conversation.
Don't be shy. We're not attached. Petya is human. I picked him up at the town market. He is a salesman. A ridiculously bad one at that.
Picked him up. Klingt ein bisschen, als hätte sie einen Hund adoptiert.
If you two are not an item, may I ask why did you invite him over?
Because it was my turn.
A turn for what?
To spice up the eternity.
So, it's true what they say? Vampires live forever?
We exist forever. We don't live.
Touché.
But then again, few do.
Does this mean that we can't, stop existing?
Oh, sweetheart, there is nothing easier. Just stop drinking blood for a few days, fall from a high roof, or
Okay,
just
können wir
step
nochmal auf
into
den
the
Balkon und ihn
sunlight.
schubsen?
I should probably be writing this all down.
So, now that you have eternity on...
Ich hab aus Versehen gedrückt, tut mir leid. Do you consider your existence more valuable?
No, of course not. Pulse or no pulse, life is just as valuable as it always was.
I see. In that case, how would you compare the value of your new existence to, say, Petya's?
I'd have to say Petya's. Like you said, what I have now isn't really life.
Fair enough. Still, it's
May
an
remember
interesting
this in the
thought
future, eh?
experiment, isn't it?
Indeed. Excuse me. I think someone is calling for me.
Eigentlich nicht, aber hey. So, dann reden wir halt mit dem Menschen.
Oh, hello. It's you, lady in the nightgown. How are you feeling? I was really worried.
Der ist voll nett.
Much better. Thank you. I'm Lisa, by the way.
Der kriegt nachher ein Leckerli.
Of course. Where are my manners? I'm Petya.
It's a pleasure. You were the only one who seemed to care about my illness.
Oh, nonsense. They are a lovely bunch around here, just all very busy. The third group I'm pitching my dolls to, and everyone keeps running off for urgent business.
Did you say you're selling dolls?
And making them, yes.
I see you have one with you. May I take a look?
Of course. Matilda here is my favorite. I'd love to get some honest feedback. Well, what do you think?
It looks promising. It might need a little polish, but I'm sure it will get there.
Thank you. It's always great to hear some objective thoughts.
Wenn wir zu nett sind, dann weiß dass wir lügen.
It is still a prototype, and rest assured, I will keep working on it till it's perfect.
I have no doubt of that.
You know, making toys is what I wanted to do since I was a little boy. My father always called this foolishness, among other things. Said it's not manly work. I never managed to convince him otherwise.
I'm sorry. That must have been tough.
Well, here I am, still at it. I do have a feeling that I'm onto something with Matilda. Just you wait. My gut tells me that tonight is going to bring something special. And it's never wrong.
Ja, das Thema zieht sich durch den ganzen Stream, ne?
How did you end up being invited here, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, that's all thanks to Elisa, the lovely young woman in the yellow dress. She saw me at the town market and saw some real potential in my work. She said that the people in the manor might be interested in seeing it, and you didn't have to ask me twice.
I see. How is pitching going so far?
I'll admit, it's a little slow, but the night is still young.
You are an optimistic guy, aren't you, Petya?
My mother used to say that my hope will be the death of me. But what's the point of living if you don't believe in people and yourself?
You may be right about that. At least, I truly hope you are. Best of luck with everything, Petya. Hope everything works out with the Countess.
Thank you, Lisa. You're very kind.
Na, so bin ich doch. Ich will nicht wieder zu Russa. Ey, der raucht immer noch.
Good timing. I just finished up.
Hast du nicht?
Yes, how lucky.
Don't be snappy, Lisa. Smoking is an important routine for a soldier. Can't be interrupted.
Hä?
So, are there any other questions you have left for me?
Who ended up letting me out of the chamber?
If I'm honest, I haven't the foggiest idea. I thought you knew.
Well, I don't. And whoever it was gives me the goosebumps. On top of everything, I ended up promising them a favor and felt a bad burn on my shoulder right after that. Do you know what it could possibly be?
Let me take a look.
Klar will der mich ausziehen.
Oh, brother.
What? What is it?
Also, ich bin weiblich gelesen.
It could be nothing, really. No need to worry. Just make sure that you show this to the doctor when you see him, all right?
All right.
So, are there any other questions you have left for me?
What is going on in the basement of the manor? It's absolutely
Oh yes, the basement. If I were you, I would just forget all about it.
Excuse me?
Ich habe aus Versehen Leertaste gedrückt und ich dachte, das wäre Auto. Weil das ist bei manchen Spielen, aber ich habe einfach geskippt.
All I know is that Countess conducts her business and she doesn't enjoy people meddling in it.
If it's so confidential, how come I ended up there in the first place?
Minor oversight. You were supposed to be moved upstairs before you were up, but appears that you are an early riser.
And whose oversight was it, may I ask?
Let's not focus on casting blame, shall we? I say all's well that ends well. So, are there any other questions you have left for me?
If vampires are real, does this mean other fairy tales are?
You'll have to be more specific than that.
Rusalkas? Domovoys? Ghosts?
Yes, no, yes. We'll spend all night here if we keep talking about flora and fauna. If you want my advice, focus on yourself first. That always ends up working for me.
Ist mir aufgefallen.
So, are there any other questions you have left for me?
I suppose that's it for the time being.
Perfect. If you don't mind me asking, what do you make of all this? I take it you've done a couple laps around the ballroom. Learned a little more about what it's like to be one of us.
Well, I'm obviously still in shock, but...
Oh, mein Vampire Rank.
Yes?
From a scientific perspective, I have to admit I'm curious. This is certainly a unique condition we are in. I'd love to learn more about it for my studies.
I'm impressed. I can certainly see now why the doctor chose you as his apprentice. All right. Have you read Thunderstorm?
Natürlich nicht.
I'm not so sure. Why?
Well, unlike Katerina in the play, you no longer need to wonder why people can't fly.
How did you do that?
By sheer will, Lisa. It's very simple.
Ich will eine Fledermaus sein. Ich will eine Fledermaus sein. Ich will auch eine Fledermaus sein. Ich will eine Fledermaus sein. Hat's geklappt?
How were you even talking with me in such a state?
That's yet another benefit of being one of us.
Bist du doch.
We can project our thoughts into people's minds. I prefer it, really. I find normal speech kind of primitive.
Ja, echt primitiv.
Why don't you do it all the time then?
I'd love to, but you don't want to get too used to it and scare a human by accident. Now, why don't you try it? Let's see what kind of bat you are.
Ja! Bad Shifting.
Goodness.
Also wir sind aber schon pretty.
Isn't this a hoot? Come on, I'll show you around.
Whoa! Bad landing. Bad indicator in the bottom left of the screen informs whether bad shifting is currently possible. To land while in bad shape? Aber ich bin doch in good shape. Descend on a surface from above until a landing circle appears underneath you. Okay, das klingt echt schwierig.
Seems like you're catching on. Follow me.
I can't believe I'm actually flying.
Bin schneller als du.
All this talk about death. Don't you feel more alive than you ever have right now? Shh. There. Look.
If only I have 3 coins to my name, then I'd show 'em. They'd all see.
Is this what you wanted to show me? A drunk peasant?
What I wanted to show you is how to use your new powers.
Ja, das ist mir schon klar, dass du mich auf die Dark Side bringen willst.
Meet Trophim. He is the Countess's former serf, now custodian and coachman.
Was?
Among other things, he makes sure no one goes in or out of here without her permission. Important man. Now, come with me. How is life, Trophim?
My lord, is that you? Or the bottle you gave me? Highest quality. Much obliged.
I can see that. It's nearly empty already. All right, enough pleasantries. Watch this.
What happened to him? Is he all right?
He is fine. We call this enchantment.
So, how do I enchant someone? I don't know if I can whistle like you.
Don't worry. Whistling is just for me. It's like a cure for the hiccups. Everybody has their own way. When you need it, it will come to you.
What does enchantment do, exactly?
It makes people tranquil. While they are in trance, they don't feel pain or have a clear memory of what
Auf
happened.
Deutsch zum Saufen.
Is it like anesthesia?
In a way. I bet you this fellow in the States who invented it is a vampire.
You mean William Morton?
Mm-hmm. I heard the doctor was toying with that idea before the discovery. He was not happy the Americans figured it out first.
So they don't remember anything once they're enchanted?
Not quite. They may not remember what happened, but they won't forget how you made them feel.
Sounds like a subject for some awkward conversations.
Look.
You don't know the half of it yet. You'll see.
Does this mean you can just come up to anybody and make them tranquil?
In theory, but it's not quite that simple. Firstly, they have to like you, an important condition. Without it, the charm won't work. Secondly, you should only do it to humans.
So it doesn't work on other vampires?
I didn't say that.
Hmm?
There are rumors that the best of the best can indeed enchant their own kind. But I don't even know if the Countess has that kind of power. Besides, this would certainly not be considered ethical by our vampire brothers and sisters.
I bet they wouldn't mind to have that power, though.
Oh, without a doubt.
So why would you want to enchant someone?
I thought you might ask that. There are 2 main reasons. 1. People in a trance are easily suggestible. You can use that to influence their thoughts and opinions.
When you say influence their thoughts, does this mean they will do anything I say?
Only within reason, of course, especially when you are a beginner.
Toll.
Impression is a delicate art and takes a lot of practice.
And what is the second reason?
I think you already know.
Süß.
What have you done?
I just opened him up for you. Don't worry, he'll be just
Ich
fine.
hab keinen
unless we bleed
Hunger.
him dry. Come here. It's time for you to learn how to feed.
I don't know if I'm ready.
You're as ready as you'll ever be.
How do I turn?
Just relax and let your instincts take over. It will come naturally.
Also wir sind aber hübscher in unserer
My
Vampirform.
mouth, it's bleeding.
Of course, I forgot to warn you. Sorry. Don't worry, it's normal. That happens when your fangs are out for the first time. It will recover in a minute.
His skin smells like wild berries. But not just the smell. The promise of warmth that draws you. The promise of being whole. I want to feel it on my teeth, in my body.
Ist das jetzt so ein Sexgame?
No, I can't do this. I don't think I can do it. I'm sorry.
All right. But if the Countess asks, promise you'll say that you've done it. I don't want to get in trouble because you chickened out.
I promise.
Nein!
Remember, you have to learn to do it to survive. I better get back to my other errands. Don't want to get my tunic wet. Do you remember the way back?
I do. Hussar? Thank you for your help. I had a rough day and it means a lot to me.
Don't mention it. I ended up having a decent time myself. I'll see you soon.
I should get back to the manor and talk with the Countess. I'll process this all later. Where will I live? What's next? There's so much I have to sort out first. But first, Hussar said I can influence someone who is enchanted. I should try it on Trophine. Can you hear me, Trophine? Here is something I'd like you to do. You will start pacing your drinking.
Ich hätte den voll... Also, wenn ich böse wäre, hätte ich den voll zu Tode saufen können, also lassen können. Oh, ich habe ihn netter gemacht. Oh, ich bin voll gut. Wir werden das niemals voll kriegen. Ich werde immer nur die Humanity-Sachen machen. Ich bin einfach zu nett. Was soll ich machen? Was?
What was that? Looks like the banquet is over.
I don't understand.
Oh nein.
How could this even happen?
It's Petya's doll, Matilda. This is so unsettling. What is this? My God!
Ich glaube, der ist tot. Ich glaube, der lebt nicht mehr. Die Bitches!
What the hell happened here? It's all Victoria's fault. I told her he's almost empty, but she wouldn't listen.
What do you want from me? I was starving, and you two barely left me anything.
Doesn't matter now. We drained a man. Not anywhere, but at the Countess's manor. Someone is going to fry for this, and it sure as hell won't be me.
Are you mad? No one is going to be executed for this. He's just a human.
You monsters. How could you do this?
And who are you exactly?
Dein schlimmster Albtraum!
That's right. Hasn't been a vampire for 5 minutes and thinks she knows everything.
Die ist auf unserer Seite.
Come with me, my dear. This is not your mess to sort out.
Locker 7 Minuten, richtig! Kann ich die Puppe haben?
It's Petya's doll, Matilda. This is so unsettling.
Those morons. I knew I couldn't leave them alone with him.
I just can't seem to make sense of it. I talked with Petya not even an hour ago.
I'm so sorry. He didn't need to die today.
What do you think will happen to those 3 outside?
Murdering a human, sadly, isn't a big crime in our community. I don't think it will come to that. If I had my guess, I'd say they will get their fangs dulled for troubling the Countess. They will grow back after a month or 2, but before then, they will have to feed solely on Cabernet, and it isn't cheap.
Und was, wenn sie es nicht leisten können?
What if they can't afford it?
Danke.
They will just have to find a way. Some take loans, some steal. Without blood, we are like humans without water.
What happens now?
Well, the Countess won't like this one bit. I can tell you that much.
Is she sympathetic to humans?
I wouldn't say that.
Ja, sie hasst
However,
Probleme.
she doesn't like murders being linked up to her
Gut.
property.
Das sind Probleme.
She will find her way out of this, no doubt. But those 3 in the ballroom, we'll have to see.
Arbin?
Yes?
Do you know what will happen to me now? I don't even know who I am anymore. What do I do? Where do I live?
I understand it's not an easy day. We all went through this at some point. All the answers will come at the right time. For now, you just need to wait it out till someone sends for you.
Dankeschön, Minimal, für den Raid. Und hallo, ihr Lieben. Ich hoffe, ihr hattet einen schönen Stream. Was gab's Schönes bei euch?
I must admit, I feel quite restless.
Listen, not many of us might say this to you, so I want to do it. Being one of us doesn't just mean hurting people for your own benefit. It doesn't have to be. To me, it means that I have an eternity to become better, learn from my mistakes, absorb the knowledge about the world.
I suppose that's one way to look at it.
You know, the Countess has a wonderful library over here. Why don't you grab a book and use this time to learn something new? Perfection comes in little steps.
Dankeschön, Minimal, für die 42 Monate Resub. Dankeschön, Dankeschön. Oh!
Thank you for all your help and kindness, Arbin.
Ich mag die ist lieb.
It feels really good to have a friend around here.
I know it can't be easy for you right now in all this madness. It's hard to adjust. I learned that the hard way. Trust me. Here, I want you to have this.
Small vial. Small vial blood sustains you for a day.
This should give you a little boost when you need it. Clear your head. It's not going to last long, but it will give you a little peace of mind for the time being. I should go now, my dear. You know where to find me. Next time, a drink at my bar is on me.
I'll be looking forward to it.
On the origin of species. Charles Darwin. Darwin? Sieger, Camilla. Camilla! Naja, ich muss Science machen. Das ist mein Ding. Dann machen wir natürlich ein bisschen... Achso, ich kann nicht mehr. Gut, dann... Okay, wartet kurz. Oh!
I should see what all this ruckus is about.
consequences. You will make choices in Cabernet, some of little and some of big consequence. You will not always know which one is which. Some of those consequences will be marked on the screen by this symbol.
My God, what happened here?
Spirit Tea, okay. Ich hoffe, ihr hattet viel Spaß.
Idiots being punished for their own stupidity.
Did you kill them?
I took that snake's fangs out. We'll see how she does now. I wasn't sure what to do when I saw him, but then I thought about something you said earlier.
Really? What was it?
That mortal life has the same value as eternal existence. I don't know if it's true, but it certainly helped me find my rage. Still, this isn't going to bring him back.
I'm so sorry about Petya. He seemed like such a nice boy.
It was always a risk. Life goes on. Whatever it is we have. But thank you. You must be curious about what happens to you now.
I'd be lying if I said otherwise.
The way it works is that you get assigned to the one who turned you for the apprenticeship. I believe you are the doctor's disciple.
I don't really remember much before I woke up. The doctor. He was a traveling doctor that came to the city, wasn't he? He was a vampire?
He certainly was. It will all come back eventually. Don't worry about it now. Countess has a coachman, Trophime. He will take you to the doctor's place in town. He is rough around the edges, but you can learn a lot from him.
May I speak with the Countess herself?
You need to be a little more important for that to happen. Trust me, she'll send for you soon. She has errands for us all. You will be no exception.
I understand.
Good girl. You should go. Trophime will be waiting for you, and the sun is not getting any lower. I've unlocked the door by the balcony. It'll lead you to the stairs and outside. Hey, Lisa?
Ja?
Yes?
Never mind.
What is it?
You've only turned recently. When was the last time you watched the sunrise?
It must have been a couple weeks ago. I was studying late for my exams.
What did it feel like?
Well, I was worried about the day to come, and when a ray of sun fell on my face, I don't know, I felt warm, hopeful. Why do you ask?
No reason. It's just been a while since I've seen one.
Also wenn eine von den Vampirmenschen, also Vampiren sich umbringt, dann ist es sie.
You will hear from the Countess soon.
Die ist voll depressiv.
I'm sure I will.
By the way, I've been meaning to ask you, could you please take this ugly doll
Ja!
with you? I can't keep looking into its dead eyes.
Damit meint sie, sie vermisst Petya.
Does it remind you of Petya?
Just take it with you, please.
Ich glaube, Lisa und ich sind eins. Okay, ich könnte sie natürlich, also zwingen, sich damit auseinanderzusetzen. Aber sie hat bitte gesagt, ich nehme es mit.
Alright.
Und hebt sie auch für sie.
Thanks. I'll see you around.
Und jetzt lass sie stehen, Leute.
I swear it just blinked.
So, dann gehen wir jetzt. Also, die Tür, meint sie. Oh. Nein! Und es geht einfach aus. War schon sehr gut. Wie fandet ihr es? Wie fandet ihr es?